Hi babes, welcome to Hamilton's Halogen, and this is your friend, Carrie Hamilton. This is a place where darkness meets illumination and truth becomes your turning point. Just like a halogen light burns brighter and hotter to reveal darkness, this podcast is about bringing light into places that many avoid. If you've ever felt lost in the dark, this space is for you. It's time to stop surviving and start shining. Your thoughts are not just in your mind, they're in your body as well. Everything that you believe gets programmed in your mind, and you either let it build you, let it heal you, or let it break you down. So many people go through trauma or situations that cause them pain or cause them to get hurt, and they think that because it's in the past that it'll just go away. Or someone like myself, I was taken out of the trauma, but the trauma was never taken out of me. I didn't go through therapy or anything like that, but I never had to face that trauma again. However, as I got older, that trauma still was within me. And because of that, I entertained the things that mirrored my trauma from my childhood. This is called Psychoneuroimmunology. It's basically how the mind reacts with the nervous system and the immunity system within your body. The best way for me to describe this is relating it to a car. I'm going to go through different scenarios and tell you how it all kind of processes. And like I said, I'll be using the car as an analogy to kind of explain things, so that a lot of times I know that when you go into scientific things or things that are not in the field of someone's education or so forth or knowledge, it's easier to use analogies or put things in kind of like a logical perspective. So then that way it's easier for people to understand. So going to a car, the mind works just like the dashboard or the control panel or the radio station. All of the things that are on your front dashboard that literally control your car is exactly what your mind does. So if you program a station to play that station and you hit the button every time, that's a program. If you put in the time, like let's say you purchase your car and you're in Pacific Standard Time or Central Standard Time, when you put that program in there, that is basically programming the mind to believe that it's in Central Standard Time or to believe that it's in Pacific Standard Time. Anything that goes on in your dashboard controls the entire car. So if something goes wrong, you always know, obviously, to go look at your dashboard, right? But the dashboard also controls everything inside the car, how the car functions. It tells you when the next oil change is needed. All of that. That is the same way that the mind works. If you put negativity, poisonous beliefs, anything that is in a nature in which will heighten your nervous system, or put you in fear, anything in that nature, it will affect your entire body. Someone that goes through a traumatic situation or even is in a traumatic situation like toxicity, abuse, anything that is in heightened scenario, your brain releases chemicals in your body. And those chemicals trigger certain parts of your body to let you know that either you need to react like you're in fear, or maybe you need to react and run because somebody's chasing you or whatever. If you're in abuse, you have to protect yourself, put your arms up. Every single function that goes on in your body is controlled by your mind. Your mind is the program. This is why it is so imperative to be sure to clear your mind, to heal your mind, to literally sit in your thoughts, because it has to function the rest of your body. Anyone that has been in a traumatic situation and is now out of that situation, I always tell my clients to make sure they go get blood drawn, because 90% of them have an autoimmune disorder. Because when your brain is constantly giving off cortisol, cortisol is an inflammation. Cortisol is what basically is released, like if you get a bug bite. Those type of things in chronic pain and situations, it it's like almost like a valve that's broken and it's open and it doesn't go back down. So it's literally just shooting out cortisol throughout your entire body. And so many people suffer from inflammation and autoimmune disorders like celiac disease, Crohn's disease, lupus. That's just to name a few. Now, your mind is also an antenna. So when you are tuning into different stations, when you're driving in your car, that is the same way that your mind works. This is why your energy is so imperative to protect, because that mind, your mind, is like an antenna and it's literally searching for energies around you. Have you ever walked in a room and like someone, you could just feel the tension, like someone's either mad about something or it's just a bad day or whatever? That is energy. You are absorbing that bad energy and people are like, holy cow, the tension in here is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. This is also why when you go by toxic people or people that are always like having a problem or they're just constantly in drama, your body and your mind and everything obviously picks up on that because energy is frequency. You have to surround yourself by good environments. Otherwise, that frequency and that energy drains you, and it does affect you and your immunity system, your internal body. We program our mind, and our mind is what it believes is real, just like a car. If you program your car to give you information in Spanish, that's what it's going to do. Same thing. If we believe that wearing the color pink makes us smarter, and we keep telling ourselves that, that's what we're going to believe. This is why having any type of diet, going to the gym, consistency is key, because what you're doing is you're programming the mind to know that that is reality and basically what your body needs to function. Now, on the flip side of it, if you're in an abusive situation, many individuals think, how come I can't leave? What is wrong with me? I know he's hitting me. I know he's, calling me names. Why am I still here? Why do I keep going back? And they blame themselves. I'm so dumb. You're not. You are in an addiction because the highs and the lows are releasing those chemicals in your brain. So when you don't have those chemicals in your brain to function, your body has obviously regulated itself to function that way. So when you're taken out of that toxic environments, and if you don't heal yourselves, your mind's going to say, hey, I don't have that toxicity. I don't have that abuse. Like, you got to go back. I don't feel right. I can't function. It's not anything to do with you and that, that you're dumb or whatever words you want to use. It's because your body is addicted to running on that chemical base. And now you're taking yourself out of it. So the body wants it back to function. This is why people that go to the gym, if they miss a couple days, they always say, God, I feel like crap, because they do. Their body is saying, hey, you don't put me through that adrenaline boost or that, cortisol boost for me to keep going. Like, what's going on here? I feel like crap and I can't function. No different than your dashboard saying, hey, oil change time. This engine's not running good because it's not having the chemicals or the clean oil for it to run through. So time to get an oil change. Same principle. Now let's go to the heart. Your heart is like an engine in a car. It will tell you if it's overheating, if you're missing functions, like let's say, dehydrated, anything like that, knocking, ticking, just like an engine does, your heart does the same thing. You'll get heart murmurs. You'll have fast chest, high blood pressure, fast chest pressure. You'll feel anxious. That is your body's way of saying something isn't right. You need to get it checked out. This is why when you're in an abusive situation or a toxic situation or a traumatic situation, like it could even be something like a car accident. People get out and right away, they're all, oh my God, their heart's racing fast. They're literally having heart palpitations, and the cortisol and the adrenaline levels are releasing at a high because something traumatic just happened. So that's why a lot of people, if you ever see someone like get hit in the head or like you see their car and you're like, how the heck is this person even walking? That's their adrenaline going through their body. That's literally putting them into like a shock. Same principle. Now let's talk about the body of the car. The body of the car is just like your body of, your temple. Whatever happens on the outside of your body affects you internally. If I were to rear end somebody, yes, the damage is on the outside of the car, but the interior is going to be crushed as well. Let's say I rear-ended you, your trunk is going to be not functionable. That is the same way that the body works. Your skin is the largest organ that you have. This is why it is so imperative for you to drink water and to take care of your skin. Use SPF, things in that nature, because what you're doing and putting on your skin is soaking into your skin and into your body internally. That's also why certain makeups that women use need to be careful. Men use SPF. That's why the exterior of people's body also affects their interior. If you've ever seen someone that's addicted to meth or heroin or things like that, they'll start to get acne and all this stuff and scars and scabs all over their face, all over their hands, and all of that because it affects the interior and the exterior of the body. Your skin is on you to protect you. That's why we have multiple layers of the skin, because there's debris, there's, dust in the air, there's all of those types of things. And that's the small things that basically protect you from the inside. But if you're inhaling strong chemicals, if you're in the sun all day, if you are putting things on your face, on your skin, on your back, it is going to affect you internally as well. The nervous system. The nervous system is made to protect you from safety. It's meant to alert you. It basically speaks to all the organs of the body to say, hey, react to this, react to that, whatever situation that you're in. It's like a routine maintenance that needs to be done. It's literally like your car's functions for your car to run. Like your oil needs to be changed, your fluids need to be changed, you need to get gas. That is how your nervous system works the same way. You have to feed yourself. You have to give yourself nutrition. You have to hydrate yourself. You have to do all of the maintenance things internally so that your body can function. If you are on no sleep or you're, not taking care of yourself and you're not putting that nutrients in your body's going to shut down. Your organs need that stuff to survive. Your environments. If your car is chilling on a dirt road, laid back. No, I'm singing, what is that? God, who's that person? Totally in my mind right now, Jason Aldean or whatever. But anyway, so your car's performance is the stability and the functionality of how it runs. That's the same thing with the environments that you're in. This is why you cannot be healthy if you are in toxic environments. People always say, oh, well, we're getting divorced, we sleep in different rooms, I should feel somewhat better. No, you're still going where the poison that got you sick is. Until you are separated from the environments that are causing destruction and chaos and commotion, you will always absorb that energy. You will still be sick until you remove yourself from the poisonous environments. Just like a car. You could go take it to a car wash, but if you're driving down a dirt road again, it's going to get dusty. It's going to get dirty. You're putting it in those environments, and that's going to affect your car. Now let's talk about the internal body, your overall health. That is like your car's interior. What you inhale, what you eat, what you think, chemicals that you use. If you have a leather interior and you're not putting some oil on there when it's out in the sun all day, or you're not, freshening up the leather inside, it's going to get dried out. It's going to crack. It's going to, it's going to look like snake skin almost. That's the same thing with yourself. If you don't drink enough water, your skin starts to get flaky and your skin starts to see that it's, ashy and dried out and so forth. Same thing with if you're not eating. Starts to affect your body, the color in your skin, the way your nails grow, the way your hair grows. All of that, all of those functions are put together and make your body function on a regular basis. This is why when you have a car, you have to clean that interior. You have to take it and get it detailed once in a while. You need to cleanse it. You need to detox, just like internally. You got to get those parasites. You got to detox the internal part of your bodies, get those sugars, get those, all of the bad stuff out of your body. Just like when you take your car to get detailed. They're having all of these things into play. That's what psychoneuroimmunology is it's how your mind and what you eat, how your nervous system reacts to things, all of that bases your health and the way that you can be, your immunity helps fight off viruses. They all are connected together. And that's why it's so imperative to make sure that you have a healthy mind, not just a healthy body. What you put in your mind is just like what you put in your mouth. So when you eat McDonald's all the time, you can't wonder why you look like you eat McDonald's all the time, where you have high blood pressure, you're overweight, you have diabetes, whatever. If you feed your mind negativity all the time and you constantly think that something's going to happen or that something's not right or that you're a horrible person and that's what your body has to reject. That's all you're feeding it. This is why the mindset is so incredibly important, because if you feed your mind nothing but positivity and you seek the blessings in everything that you do, you have nothing but positivity to disperse. And you see, life is a mirror. The way people treat you, the way people talk to you, the way that people interact with you, that is how they are internally. So if someone has something against you or says something negative, you are triggering something inside of them that is causing them to act that way. The opposite of love is not hate, it's fear. So when people act hatred and do mean, evil, ignorant things, there's a place of fear inside of them that isn't free, that isn't healed. And they project it then on you when you do something that triggers that pain. So this is why it's very, very important that you don't allow your emotions to affect people's actions, because if they are acting that way, you have to remember it's not something about you, it's something about them. It's a them problem, not a you problem. You have to remember that their projection is a way of them showing their character. This is why a lot of people, when you're in toxic situations, people will say, don't say anything, have indifference, don't react, because their character and who they are is exactly what they say and what they do. You make it your problem by giving it emotion. So if you ignore it and you don't give emotion to their ignorance, then their ignorance speaks for their own character. You make their ignorance part of your character when you react in that negative way. If you are at a place of peace and at a mindset of peace in your life, you won't have to give emotion to anything unless it means something to you, or that's something that you need to address. Once you get in that space in your mind and in your body, everything all just goes together. When you are at a place of peace, your heart rate is at a place of peace. You're not, heightened in different situations. It shows in your mannerisms and in your character. So you have to get that mind right, because it is the control panel for everything. It all trickles down together. If you're always sick, or you're always feeling tired, or you're always feeling just out of sorts, there is something mentally trying to basically compute with you to tell your mind that something isn't right. So if you're always tired, you got to check your chemicals in your brain. Check your dopamine levels, your serotonin levels, your hormone levels. How is the testosterone, estrogen, progesterone? All of those things come into play in your body. Your body tells you what is wrong. You just have to listen. And many people can't do that when you're in intense situations and your mind is constantly being in protection mode. You need silence. You need time to gather your thoughts and understand who you are and what your body's trying to tell you, because something isn't wrong if your body is not acting normal. It's all connected, and the only way to get healthy is by getting that mind right and listening to your body. I hope this helped, and I hope that you listen to yourself and take yourself out of these situations if you are in any type of toxic situations and so forth, because your character and your mind and your health, all of that is not worth jeopardizing over someone that acts foolish and doesn't appreciate your health. So it's time to start listening to your mind and taking the time to address situations that your body's trying to tell you that you need to pay attention to. Much love. Get healthy. Shout out to my 10-year-old daughter. I had her draw a car so that I could basically put everything that we talked about today into an image to show you how psychoneuroimmunology is really important and it affects us every day. You got to make sure that you keep that mind healthy so that your body is healthy, your nervous system is healthy, and your overall health and immunity is healthy. So best of luck and much love to all. See you soon.